celebration in Melbourne turns testy. Police in Australia's capital pepper sprayed some people outside the offices for the lawyers of Novak Djokovic. Hundreds celebrated the latest twist in the tennis star's vaccine dispute with the government. A judge ruled Djokovic, who's unvaccinated, is to be freed from custody and can stay in Australia. Protesters who talked to our crew in Melbourne were thrilled.
Like, what was all of this for? Politics? Was it for your health and safety, people? No, it was a political game. But he won.
Very happy, honestly. From beginning, I believe this is going to be justice and Djokovic going to win because he didn't do nothing wrong, like what I said from beginning.
Djokovic tweeted he was grateful for the judge's decision, and despite all that's happened, he wants to stay and to compete. But will he be able to? He has the vaccine exemption. He has the judge restoring his visa. But this saga has a third chapter. The government says immigration officials could now cancel his visa, meaning a no-go for Djokovic in this year's Australian Open. A potential 3-year ban from the whole country, a nation where Djokovic has reigned supreme. He's going for his 10th Australian Open title. He holds the record already with 9. And a win this time would cement his name at the top of the men's Grand Slam list. Djokovic is currently tied with Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer with 20 titles. With us tonight is Matt Bonesteel, sports reporter with the Washington Post. Matt, does Djokovic seem to be on firm footing in this case? Because my understanding is photographed at public events, unmasked the day after the supposed diagnosis. I guess legally or perception-wise, are people buying in?
I think, his supporters clearly are, as you saw from some of the footage today from Australia, that his supporters are really all in making sure he gets to play, or at least expressing their opinions about whether he gets to play in Australia. I don't think from the general Australian population, which has gone through some of the more strict lockdowns of anyone in this pandemic, I don't think he's going to get a lot of sympathy from them. So, it really is, it's like everything. It's a very polarizing issue where you have one side where saying he needs to follow the rules like the rest of us, and the other saying, well, he got sort of a raw deal trying to get out of the country, and they should let him play.
Getting stuffed into some hotel in Australia for 5-6 days right before this Grand Slam, that'll mess you up. I mean, just athletically, can you come out and win after that? Yeah,
he doesn't. It doesn't really start for a little while still, for I guess another week, I think. So it will be a stumbling block if he has to continue. I think he's been freed now, so he's free to start training. I believe I saw reports that he is indeed starting his training for the Australian Open, but he had been training for weeks before that. So I imagine there's certain, he's going to be thrown off a little bit by this pause in his workout, especially sitting in a tiny hotel room for a couple days. But he seems like the type of guy who could probably get over it pretty quickly.
Do you think there's any way psychologically this has gotten to his head to where, I don't know, in the second or third round, he could lose just because he knows everybody's watching and everything's on this?
He seems to thrive a lot in these high pressure situations where he, his mentality is just sort of, I am going to do anything that I can do to beat my opponent. And, early in his career, he would often be accused a little bit of gamesmanship here and there, but now, as he's risen to the top of the sport, it becomes less and less that, and more apparent that he's one of the most talented tennis players of all time. So it just is a matter of who's going to be the one to beat him, and it just has to be someone stronger mentally than him.
Is Novak Djokovic trying to prove a point here with the vaccine of, you can't make me do this? Or do you think this is a sincerely held thing of, I think my natural immunity is high enough such that I am healthy, and I don't think I should have to take it for this reason?
I think it could be a little bit of both. I think, that he's saying to Australia, look, I thought I crossed all my T's and dotted all my I's and did everything I needed to do to get in. But at the same time, if he wasn't vaccinated, my thought was, what was going to happen if he didn't test positive in December? What reason would he have to get into Australia if he's not going to get vaccinated? It seems to me he's hanging his entire argument on the fact that he got infected in December, which sort of makes it seem to me, not that he got infected on purpose, but it's just sort of I'm going to dare you to stop me. And then this is what happened. And now it's your decision to make whether you want to do this or not.
That sounds like maybe some investigative reporting is happening behind the scenes of did this just happen, or is it like, no, you see this one rapid test and I have a picture of it? That's me. Yeah. That's me right there, and it came right before. Like, we don't know.
He's one of the few people who seems, not proud of getting infected with the coronavirus, but, it's turned out to be an okay thing for him.
Wow. I hadn't thought of that. Matt Bonesteel with the Washington Post. Really interesting to see how this all plays out. We appreciate your insights.
All right. Thanks.